Hello to all of our amazing Alma Heights ISD staff family. I welcome you to our 2020-2021 Convocation celebration. This day has historically been one of my most favorite days of the year, and although this definitely feels different as I sit here in my office by myself, I'm choosing to be just as excited about this year and what this year might have in store for us. And although we're not together in the auditorium cheering each other on, I continue to see you, and I see your passion for our district. I see your heroic commitment to serve our students. Lisa Berry, you amaze me. Congratulations to you. Thank you for sharing your heart with us this afternoon and your passion and your talent for teaching all through the year. You inspire us and you motivate us to do more and to be more for our students. I am so excited that you have been honored with such deserved recognition. I know that you will represent us well at the state level this fall. We are so proud of you. Before I get further into my remarks, I'd like to recognize our amazing Board of Trustees for their commitment to service and leadership on behalf of our Alma Heights ISD students, staff, and community. It's typically at this time that I tell you just to hold your applause until I get through everyone's name, but I guess I don't have to do that today. So I'd like to recognize our President, David Hornberger, Vice President Brian Anderson, Secretary Brian Hamilton, Assistant Secretary Bonnie Giddens, Lisa Kringer, Perry Schenkel, and Stacy Sharp. We are all incredibly grateful for your service and your commitment to the students and staff of our district. Your unwavering commitment to high standards of excellence and continuous improvement make our school district the most incredible place to learn and grow. It is also typical during our annual Convocation celebration that I recognize our new administrative team members. I am so excited about the heart, the passion, and talent of our team this year, and I'm delighted to highlight a few of our new members. First, Melissa Benavides, our new Director of Special Education. Ron Ritteman, Coach Ritteman is our new Athletic Director. Jennifer Fox is our Assistant Athletic Director. Corey Smith is our new Principal at Alma Heights High School. Sean Reno, a new Assistant Principal at the high school, and also Vanessa Castillo, Assistant Principal at Alma Heights High School. Last, but certainly not least, not new to us by any means in Alma Heights ISD, but new to our administrative team, our own Charlotte Dolat was named our new academic dean at the high school. So I congratulate all of those new team members and I welcome those who are new to the district. This will be a year like no other. And before we talk more about that, I encourage you this afternoon to think about your why that called you to serve in our field. Why did you choose a life of service and education? Why do you choose children above all else? Why are you called for this important work? And I'll share some personal background and share my why. And it's because primarily because of the incredible impact a few of my own teachers had on the trajectory of my life, pushing me to be more and better than my own mindset would have allowed without them. A few of my teachers nudged me into leadership roles that I would never have had the confidence to seek myself. And that became part of my identity in such a positive way. I even had teachers, a few teachers who encouraged me to apply for schools that were financially out of my reach. And I ended up applying for those and becoming a presidential scholar with a full scholarship at the college I attended, where I met my husband. None of that would have happened or been possible without the encouragement and the challenge and the high expectations that were set for me. My why is also because I witnessed firsthand the sacred work of teaching through my own mother and my father as well. I saw the care and love and sacrifice that was evident daily as my mother committed her life's work to meeting the needs of her students in an inner city elementary school in Pittsburgh. I saw her teach, and I saw her provide resources at her own expense, and I saw her engage with families and provide connections to community resources. I saw the way that my mother prioritized her students' needs as if they were her own children, and that was an inspiration. I also saw the impact that my father had as a coach in the same city, in the same district, and the way that he influenced so many of his players to dream about attending college. They were all first-generation attendees. A dream that they would never have even entertained without his encouragement and high expectations. He showed them how to showcase their athletic talent kind of as the entry point, and he also set expectations around their academic commitment. He set up tutoring opportunities for them, and he relentlessly monitored his players' grades. He set up meetings with teachers on his players' behalf and frequently inserted himself in the role of their absent parent. He set up scouting opportunities from local colleges and universities to showcase the talent of his players. And one of my very favorite memories growing up were the weekends that we spent towards the end of summer, loading up in our station wagon to help move his players into their dorm in their new schools. The impact that he had on the lives of so many was evident at his memorial a few years ago, when generations of former players shared stories of the impact that he had and on who they became. So yes, I had a front row seat to seeing how educators impact the lives of so many. I had a front row seat to the opportunities and access that my parents granted for their students. I had a front row seat to seeing the sacrifice, but also the ultimate fulfillment that comes from a calling of service through education. And so this afternoon, I do ask that we anchor ourselves in our own personal why, because I'm convinced that our students need us now more than they ever have. When we anchor ourselves in our work and our why, we walk towards our purpose in times of stress and challenge and anxiety, or even times when we feel overwhelmed. A quick reminder of that why will serve us so well and will help us move forward to walk towards that purpose. Over the course of my entire career here, and this year starts year 24, I have witnessed the incredible talent of our Alma Heights staff. I have been inspired by your level of professionalism, the dedication to leading with best practices. I've seen your unwavering commitment to continuous improvement. Each one of you shows us time and time again that you want to be the absolute best for our students. You commit each year to new learning and to new growth. Not all places are like that. I've seen your heart for our community and the way that you engage personally with your students and families. I've seen your passion for the work around educating the whole child and your commitment to the tenets, the focus areas of our profile of a learner that equips our students with the skills and attributes that will allow them to positively impact the world around them beyond just their academic development. But nothing in these last 23 years has given me the pride that I have in each one of you based on all your efforts these past 5 months. Your efforts have been nothing short of extraordinary. And so I just invite you to get comfortable and lean back in your chair, take a stretch break if you need to, but I have many of your efforts to highlight. I have seen you step out of your comfort zone during a second week of March and embrace risk-taking in an incredible way to set up a completely new platform for teaching and learning through continuous learning for each one of our students on about 4 days' notice. I've seen you reach out in multiple ways to engage with families. You paraded through neighborhoods. You set up yard signs to share words of love with your students. You carved out time to have virtual lunches and tutoring sessions with your students to support them both academically and also socially and emotionally. I've seen many of you make home visits to stand outside in the front yards of our families to check in on students who needed you the most. I've seen our coaches set up daily workouts and encourage our athletes to post videos and stay committed to their physical well-being. I've seen our counselors set up around-the-clock counseling support to students who needed them. I've seen the way that you creatively thought through ways to get materials and devices into the hands of your students who needed them, and you volunteered hours and hours of time to support the collection of material at the end of the year back on our campuses. Some of you quickly pivoted to provide a memorable outdoor graduation ceremony for our seniors on just a few weeks' notice once we heard that that was even an option. Our seniors who ended their K through 12 education experience in Alma Heights with such a special evening of celebration after being away from each other for so long will always cherish that opportunity to experience a little bit of normalcy for one evening of celebration. Your work to pull that off will never be forgotten. I've seen an overwhelming number of you volunteer your time this summer to serve and support our community through our food bank distribution center at the high school when our families found themselves in a time of crisis with food insecurity. Many, 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 many of you stepped up to serve on collaborative teams beginning back in May to help us make important decisions and plans around the opening of school this year. You helped us plan for an improved Heights at Home experience. Many of you worked collaboratively with your colleagues to plan consistency within our curriculum offerings, and you creatively provided input on how we would roll out face-to-face instruction during a time of distance. Some of you worked on our community task force and provided invaluable input to the decisions and our focus areas around reopening. I've seen many of you working to help us plan around logistics for summer school offerings this past summer, and you stepped up to be on the front lines to work with our most needy students in our buildings until that was no longer an option, and then you just quickly pivoted to a remote platform for teaching and learning to support those students. I know that our custodians and our maintenance team have always been the heroes of this district, but this past spring and summer, I just want to let you all know that I have seen you step into a new status, a superhero status, because of your diligence in keeping our spaces and our buildings sanitized and clean, the way that you innovatively are taking care of our facilities and thinking through our air systems and our spaces to help us promote safety and wellness. You are our superheroes, and we appreciate you. I have seen our amazing food service team and our transportation department step up on a day's notice back in March to provide meals to our students in need. And what began as a meal distribution site at the junior school evolved into a well thought out plan for delivering meals in our neighborhood. Every week since the first week of closure, this team, our food service workers and our bus drivers and our transportation department supported our students and their families when at times, due to the unknown nature of the virus, was a bit scary to do. In addition to our food service team and bus drivers, many of you volunteered each week with us to distribute meals in the neighborhoods from the junior school. Every one of our administrators rode the buses and shared words of care and support to our families and their neighborhoods at the distribution points. This past summer, I saw our coaches thoughtfully, diligently, and courageously plan and execute a mules in training opportunity for about 585 students at our high school and our junior school for many successful weeks, and they modeled for us the way to support our students and keep them safe at the same time. Each step of the way, you all have chosen, you could have chosen to be frustrated and angry and tired and overwhelmed, but instead you chose resiliency and courage and humility. You leaned into a choice to be positive and flexible, and that choice has provided us with a new foundation of possibility, an opportunity, a new identity for the extraordinary things that will happen for students in this amazing school district. As I share the extraordinary efforts of our staff team, there are a few of our leadership team that I need to recognize by name who have worked endlessly on planning for the opening of the school year. These leaders stayed strong and committed during the months of May, June, and July, and now August, when so much was changing, so much was uncertain and unclear around the guidelines and guidance for expectations for how public schools needed to prepare for the upcoming school year. We would not be where we are today without the leadership and service of Jamie Laughlin, Melissa Benavides, Frank Stanage, Ron Ritteman, David Stevenson, Kathy Martinez, and Patty Pavlik-Perales, as well as every single one of our principals, our assistant principals, and our academic deans. They stepped up to meet incredible challenge that each day threw at us, and they did that with a can-do spirit. Each one of those names that I listed actually leads one of our teams based on a different focus area that met with our large district leadership team every week since May to talk through their work, their plans, and so that we could provide an opportunity for feedback to them in their work. All right, and then there are three who are on my immediate cabinet team who worked through spring break and have not unplugged for any summer rest or vacation, who are the rocks of this district. For me personally, they're my anchor, and they're the anchor for all of us, helping us all stay focused and safe in what I consider, in a safe place in the eye of the storm. They are resolute about being problem solvers, part of the solution. I'm not sure if you realize what a big deal that is in our current context, having leaders who resolutely choose to be part of the solution during a time of never-ending challenge and uncertainty. I know that all of you share my admiration and my love for Mike Hager and Jimmy Walker and Dr. Frank Galfaro. Their commitment and their service to the work of this district and our ongoing support is an incredible inspiration to me, and I need to recognize them here this afternoon. So in addition to recognizing your amazing efforts as an Alamo Heights staff family, I do want to share But I appreciate the support that I felt from all of you. I cannot even begin to explain how your words of support and kindness have meant so much to me personally since March, whether you sent a text or an email or stopped by the office to check in. It seems like when I was at a low point, and there have been a couple low points, it was your words and your kindness that have made all the difference. I share this to encourage you to remember how powerful words of gratitude and kindness and support mean right now. Your administrators are making impossible decisions and would benefit from your commitment to share encouragement and support. Your colleagues are experiencing a range of emotions right now about the opening of the school year. And they need your support, your encouragement, and your commitment to kindness as we continue to commit to getting better together. Back in 2018, my very first year as superintendent, my first convocation as your superintendent, I came to you and asked 3 requests of you. And I reminded you about those requests at the start of the school year last year at convocation. These 3 requests stand true today as we move into my 3rd year serving in the role. My first request is that I ask you to be bold in the story that you're writing. We rolled out the hashtag Alamo Heights AHISD My Story during my first convocation as superintendent, trying to highlight the unique and special place that is Alamo Heights ISD and the power and influence each one of us has to write an amazing story this year. I talked to you about being purposeful and thoughtful in the story that you write. This year, a year like no other, is an opportunity for us to be courageous in writing a story that is full of inspiration and incredible outcomes for our students. My second ask is for you to be passionate every day about your service. Your passion was never more evident than in these last 9 weeks of school as we closed out the school year, where you chose daily to do more, to be more, and to serve in heroic ways. I know it's not easy to commit to that level of passion every day. It takes courage and it takes heart, but it is what our students deserve. And this year provides us with the greatest opportunity that we've had yet to be passionate about our work and our service. I also asked you, 3rd request, to choose to love the children that you serve every day. I see that and I feel that, and I appreciate that you prioritize relationships above all else with our students and with our families. Sometimes choosing love is not easy, but we know that it's through love that our students will thrive and reach their highest potential. Our students have been away from us physically now for almost 6 months, and they need to feel and to see your love now more than ever. So please indulge me here as I read a little quote to kind of bring us to conclusion. And this is a quote that I saw months ago on social media, but kind of surfaced this past week. And I think it's an appropriate way for us to be called into the important work of the school year. And it says, what if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is the year we have been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw, that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from our ignorant slumber. A year we finally accept the need for change, declare change, work for change, become the change. A year we finally band together instead of pushing each other apart. What if 2020 isn't canceled, but rather is actually the most important year of them all? So I'll leave you that as the possibility. What if this is the most important year for our service of all the years that we've served? What if this is the year to create an even more inspirational identity for who we are and the work that we're called to do? That's the year that I'm signing up for, and that's the year that I claim for all of us. I invite you to join me for the extraordinary AHISD journey and adventure. Mules up and love to all of you. Thank you.